Okay, so
You rescued her? She's sweet. How long have you had her?
I'm 5 years and
3 days.
5 days or something.
That makes sense. She's been around for 5 years. You're funny. You're so funny.
Yeah. All right, and let's get you kind of on that mic just so that we. I mean, by all means, pull it over to you so you can keep playing with Wendy.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, she really is something else. And here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Paris Jackson.
Hello.
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 What's up?
This is quite the honor. Thank you so much for coming. I was just telling you that I felt like really pretty nervous about asking you if you would do this.
Why?
Just because it seemed like a long shot. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think like, maybe I'm just that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for that. It was really cool. Do you remember we saw each other at an acting studio?
I was probably like, I want to say 13, 14 maybe?
It's been a full decade.
Yeah.
You were sober?
Yeah, I was sober. It was absolutely 2012. And I don't even know if I ended up taking any classes there, but I had signed with that manager that I was with for a short time.
Were you getting ready for the Samuel L. Jackson?
No, it wasn't even about the Samuel L. Jackson.
When you had a cool mustache for a while?
Yeah. No, what it was that I signed with this manager and they were like, dude, you got to take acting classes. This is a big, important thing. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went over to check out this acting studio and there was Paris. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I don't know that we really...
You were like auditing one of the classes, I think, and I was on my way out because like the teen class had just ended, and so I was on my way out. I'm actually, my best friend that I met in that class, like when I was like 12, 13, like he's still one of my close friends to this day.
Can you cry on demand?
I'd rather not, but like I can't.
It's possible. You think you can cry on demand?
How much you paying?
I've been trying to cry, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like watching like Legends of the Fall, and I see Brad Pitt cry. I'm like, dude, how?
Sometimes menthol helps. There have been times where I couldn't do it.
Menthol,
like they'll blow. Like that's what I did like a music video for a friend of mine, the 30 Seconds to Mars video, like a couple years ago, and I couldn't cry on command, so that one time, so they like blew menthol into my eyes.
Yeah, and let's be clear too that we're talking about like crying like as a performance in acting, but what you're saying is that you have not cried in life.
I can't neither. I can't cry. I cried like maybe like a week ago for like 10 seconds. And then I was like, dude, was that cool? Afterwards, and he's like,
right, was that cool? This was your homework to try to cry with your therapist.
Yeah. Because it gets stuck here, and I can't. Like I'll just like, and then I'm like, nobody's around. I'm like, I look so stupid, and then I stop.
Have you tried breathworks?
No.
I feel like that might help.
I read that, but I'm like, I don't even want to like do breathwork.
Why not?
Because I'd rather just like watch TikTok.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Maybe there's a way you can find a combination of the two.
Yeah, or menthol.
Or menthol, that works too.
Because like pain doesn't make me cry. Mm-hmm. Sadness doesn't make me cry. Being happy makes me teary-eyed.
Yeah, beauty.
Yeah.
Make you cry.
I cry at Cirque du Soleil shows.
Do you really?
I swear I do. Like because I'm sitting there just thinking like I'm so moved by how totally radical like this talent is, and just like the possibilities for what humans are capable of doing is so moving to me that I can't stand how rad they are, and like I just start crying. But everybody's watching the show and nobody knows I'm crying, so I just kind of like, write it. But if I were to speak to anybody, they would be able to tell I was crying. But nobody knows it. I cry in secret at Cirque du Soleil.
But are you like teary-eyed, or are you like?
I'm not audibly crying. It's like more like thank God I'm not in a conversation, because it would be so obvious I'm crying.
Wow.
There's a way to like just let the tears fall and keep it. I do that a lot. I cry a lot.
Really?
Actually, yes. Very like in tune with I try to be in tune with my emotions.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was like, I think this is how it happened. That like they're like on some random like silly thing that I put on Instagram, I saw that there was like a comment from you underneath, and I just thought like, wow, like Paris Jackson follows me on Instagram. Like what a trip, rad. And so then I followed you back, and then ever since then, every once in a while I'll see like, wow, she saw my post. Like that's super cool. And that's why I was able to ask you if you were doing this, because I knew you followed me, so I could send you a direct message. Yeah. And I think it's just it would fall under the counterintuitive like category to think that like I think we're an odd pairing is what I'm getting at.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty solid timing too. Like when you messaged me, I just so happened to have I don't check my DMs really, like ever. I've actually had some of my close friends get upset because I don't text back. If people call me, I pick up. Or people want to see me, I'll show up. But like I'm horrible with texting and DMing, so it was like kind of by chance that I happened to see it.
Why?
We call it a God shot in my world. The universe intended for it to be
synchronicity.
Yeah, I just wonder why people are bad at texting, because I respond pretty quickly.
I just don't want to. And I don't want to be good at it.
But I take it personal when somebody doesn't. I'm like, dude, you took 3 hours.
I mean, the people in my life that I feel like maybe should stay in my life are the type of people that are understanding of it. A lot of my friends like have kids and like lives, so they
don't care.
They also are like, oh, I want to see you too. I'll see you in November. Like, let's make plans 3 months away, because it's like we're both busy. We have things to do. I've got like a couple jobs and like traveling.
What about someone you're dating? What's the best way to get a hold of you there? I see you make time for that.
In a hypothetical, I don't know, like call me. I may pick up. If it's urgent, call twice. That's what I tell people.
Or if they text you?
I probably won't respond.
Ooh.
There was one girl that, like, this was a few years ago. We were fully seeing each other. I brought her as a date to like my cousin's wedding. She brought me as a date to one of her friends' wedding. Like, it was like going on for a while, and my way of showing up is I'll drive out to you. If you live in downtown and I'm living in Topanga, like I'll drive all the way like a couple times a week. I don't mind, but I won't text you back. And at the end of the day, like that was the deciding factor of it. Just didn't work. Like she just didn't like that about me, and a few years go by and I wanted to like apologize and make it right, and then I ended up doing it again. And it's like it's so a part of who I am that I'd like to make things right and apologize, but it's kind of pointless to apologize for
behavior
for something that you're not going to change. So I could apologize and be like,
were you guys living together?
No, we lived on opposite ends of town.
The fix is just move her in, and then you don't have to worry about shit.
At the time, I had like 5 roommates.
Oh.
And like 5 animals, so
I have that dynamic with our Jackass director, Jeff Tremaine. He never responds to texts, and it hurts my feelings every time. And then I'm like, ah, and I'll be like, ah.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. I'm like, but yeah, some people just don't want to be good at texting.
How do you guys feel about like voice memos?
Yeah, voice. A lot of people do that.
I'm the best texter in the world.
He really is.
Really?
But that's the problem.
He calls it ERT, his email response time, off the charts.
Like if you had a business and you wanted to go into business with them, and you saw like their percentage of their ERT was like a high percentage, you're like, oh dude, I know they get back to me quick. But if they have like a 40%, it's like, yeah, I don't want to work with these people.
Should you do the voice memo thing?
No, because then if I listen to it and I don't respond and I lose it, my OCD will take over, and I'm like, fuck, did I imagine that or did I really send it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right.
So I'm a texter.
So there was just the realizing that you followed me on Instagram. I got a real kick out of that. And then now that I reached out to you about doing this, like, I get the sense that you don't do a lot of interviews, that you're like, like a fairly private person.
Yeah.
You keep
you don't text.
You keep a small
I just
circle.
like technology. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I do. I keep a small circle.
And I couldn't help but have this sense. I'm like, man, I feel like profoundly grateful, maybe even a little bit proud that I've turned into a guy that that you would feel comfortable being like, yeah, come on, I'll come over and have a conversation on, you know? Like there's, like, I feel like I've turned into, I've become a guy that like, maybe that there's some kind of a, people feel there's a reason to trust me, like when they wouldn't even necessarily have any proof.